How's it going? My name is Mike, and in this video we're going to be going over everything you need to know how to trade the SPX Broken Wing Butterfly strategy included in my Simplified Option Success course. The following trade I will be going over is an actual trade I placed on 9/29/2020. So let's start with the entry guidelines. First, you're going to want to have a daily chart open with the 50 and 200 SMA lines plotted. My 50 SMA line in this chart is in yellow and the 200 is in purple. This trade is a delta neutral trade, so technical analysis like this isn't 100% required, but I like to use it just to filter out some bad trades. So according to the entry guidelines, the SPX must be trading above the 200 SMA, but not too far extended above the 50 SMA. In this case, the SPX is definitely above the 200, which is the purple line, and is actually just under the 50 SMA, so we're good to place a trade technically in this situation. Now we just have to see where the 200 SMA line is marking at, which is essentially just the purple number right there, which says 3109.08. We will use this information to find our short strike. So now let's go to the options chain and find the expiration date, which is closest to 45 days to go, which is in this case 13th of November. And then we're going to find the -20 delta put. In this case, it looks like it's 30.40. And remember, we want our short strike to be at or below the 200 SMA line and at -0.20 delta. If necessary, you can use as low as -0.15 delta if the -0.20 delta strike is not below the 200 SMA. We will use the -0.20 delta put as a short strike here since it is below the 200 SMA still. So begin by selling 2 of those. While holding control, go down 50 points and buy one of those strikes, which is the 29.90. And then go 40 points above 30.40 and buy one of those, which is the 30.80 puts. Now that the trade is formed, you can go ahead and right click it and click on Analyze. So now under price slices, look for the icon, the lock icon that is unlocked. See that right here? That will be the actual current price. And then we see here, this is our position delta. So we want this to be in between -0.5 and +0.5 according to my guidelines. In addition to this, you must also be taking in a credit. So both of these we are good on. If either the delta is off or the trade is marking at a debit, then try using the strikes 35 or 45 above the short strike instead of 30.80. So essentially you'd either use 30.75 or 30.85 in this case until you receive a credit and you have a reasonable position delta. If you must, the guide allows you to open a position for a debit if it is $25 or less, 25 cents or less per contract. But this is not ideal, but in some cases when VIX is pretty low, you might have no choice. In this case, we do not have to do that, but you do it by clicking here, and then you can adjust to 30.85, which is not even traded. You can't do it for this one, or 30.75. But again, we're not going to do it in this situation since we meet both criteria already. So once you have your trade finalized like this, you can increase or decrease the amount of contracts. So remember, you want to do about 10% of your account per expiration date. So depending on that, increase or decrease your contracts. It uses about 1,000 in buying power per butterfly. So just do your calculations based on that. Double click here and then you can do send. So now we want to set a good till canceled order to take profit for us automatically. So we're going to do right click the SPX right here, do create closing order. And then we want to set this at a $60 profit target. So on my real trade, I collected -0.55. So in that case, we would set it to 0.05 credit. So I'm just going to use the plus and minus arrows here. I'm going to hold the plus until we get to 5 credit. There we go. So remember, I collected negative 0.55. In order to take a $60 profit, we set it at 0.05 positive credit. Set it till good till canceled and set a day here so that it doesn't cancel after the day ends. Confirm and send, and you are ready.